Hey guys. Hello, Facebook. Hello. You can wave, boo. Say hi to the people.
Hello.
Hey y'all. So, got my little bambinos with me today. I picked them up from school. My 12-year-old has a doctor's appointment. So, I just said that since we got a little ride that I would, tell you guys about, piggyback a little more on yesterday's live story. So if you guys don't know who I am Char Davis, your favorite sickle cell warrior, and I am building an online business, excuse me, all while battling this monster of an illness. And, forgive me. And I get to help individuals just like myself, frustrated marketers just like myself, finally get it right. I've done it wrong for so many years, up until even 2 months ago, and finally I've learned to get it right. So I get to help people like that's frustrated in this industry, and then I get to help warriors from all walks of life. Sickle cell, of course, is my baby and my passion, but I get to help warriors from all walks of life to not allow the diagnosis to diagnose them. I'll say it again. I get to help warriors from all walks of life not allow the diagnosis to diagnose them. Whatever cause that you're fighting, whatever illness you're fighting, whatever it is that you're compassionate about, or that has you dealing with adversities, I should say. So yesterday I spoke about the young lady in Chicago, and as I said, that would be the only time after I piggyback on this today. Today makes 20 years. 18 years. September the 18th, 1999. I was working at a very nice job. We were working like 6 days. And, I was young. My poor baby, he got asthma. My poor baby, he just afflicted with all kind of stuff. But, and we on our way to the doctor for him. For something totally different. But anywho, September the 18th, 1999. Like I said, I was working at a very good job, and we worked 6 days. So I was 24 years old, young. You know what we did at 24 years old? We enjoyed life. So that's exactly what I was doing. And a girlfriend of mine and we went out. Now I went to all bars. I wasn't too good for the hole in the walls or the well-known clubs. Matter of fact, I liked the hole in the walls. So that's where we were. I can't remember the name of it. On a street called Sickle, from those that are from here. And so all night long, we enjoyed the night, me and my friend. And she met her guy friend there, and of course, like I said yesterday, he had a couple friends with him. So it was me and her. And all night long, they bought drinks. We kicked it. We had a nice time, And the end of the night comes. But in the midst of buying drinks, of course, he was trying to get my number and stuff. And he just wasn't my type, guys. I ain't, trying to be funny, but that's just not what it was. So it didn't go past that. We just bought the drinks and had, and drank and partied and had a good time. So at the end of the night, when we get ready to leave, because he asked for the number and I wasn't interested, I was waiting outside of the club with, for my girl. She was standing outside talking to her friend, which was his friend. And I have sickle cell, and this particular September the 18th was freezing. So I'm cold, and I'm standing outside. I'm freezing. I'm shivering. And he was like, dang, baby, you ain't got to, stand out here and be cold and wait on them. You can sit in my car. I cut the heat on for you. So I'm like, okay, because I'm freezing. So I get in the car. We sit in the parking lot of the bar, which was on the side. It was on the side of the bar. So we're sitting there, and my friend and her friend, they sitting outside, they talking or whatever. And I let this bother me for a lot of years because I wasn't interested in the guy. So I was sitting in the passenger seat. I was sitting straight up. My posture was just so like, it was bad. I'm gonna say that. My posture was just all of a posture, like saying, like, I'm just so not interested. Not disrespectful, but I just wasn't interested. And my posture read that. So I was sitting up. My head was off the headrest. I even had my foot on his dashboard. So I got my feet on his dashboard, my head laid up, and I'm looking out of my passenger window to the right. So he has all of his attention on me. He can't even see out of his peripheral. I'm going to say that again. I have my head, my body is sitting up off of my seat in the passenger seat, and my head was all the way turned to the right, looking out the window. I guess I was watching my girl and her friend. So his body and his body posture was turned all the way to me because I wasn't paying him any attention, so he couldn't see out of his peripheral at all. So meanwhile, he's, conversating with me. We're talking. And the very last thing he said out of his mouth was, these blanks trying to get me to take them to Oak Park. And he said something else, and then he went back to, but they just going to sleep on my couch, or something about Oak Park. That was like the exact thing. But it was P or K, whichever was the last word. And shots rang out. And when shots rang out, I jumped, and his foot hit the pedal. So when his foot hit the pedal, I immediately thought that he was taking off. So I turned to my left, because him taking off never happened. So I turned to my left to say, like, what's taking you so long? And when I turned to my left, guys, it was all bad. It was all bad. His head was leaning back on his headrest. He had blood squirting out of his neck. I don't know if you push a water fountain, and you know how the water squirts. So he had blood squirting out of his neck. I don't want me to be, too graphic, but, and, needless to say, I'm hysterical now. I'm screaming. I'm like, oh my God, he's shot, oh my God. And I was so hysterical and in non-belief that I wasn't shot. I jump out of the car, really can't get the car door open. I try to jump out of the car, but I can't get it open. I'm fighting with it. Now, on the outside of my door is my girl and her guy friend, because she's trying to push him, who's every bit of 350 pounds, off of her to get to me. And he telling her, well, if she hit it, ain't nothing you can do. And she went crazy. She like, listen, get off of me. Her adrenaline was pumping so hard that she basically, she got him up off of her or whatever. I'm in the middle of Finkel by now, taking my clothes off. Literally, I'm undressing because you couldn't tell me I wasn't shot. So I'm down to, no lie, I'm down to a cami. I had took my jacket off. I'm down to a cami, took my jacket off, and took my shoes off, and I was like taking my pants off. Like, that's how bad it was, because like I said, you couldn't tell me I wasn't shot. So she had to like shake me up, like, look, girl, you are not shot. I've checked you over. Just, you need to calm it down, bring it back this way. So needless to say, I was not shot. At this point, we hear ambulances and, police officers and what have you, and they're basically on their way. So she and I are standing in the middle of Finkel together, because we don't have anything to hide. I wasn't going to get in my car and pull off. I wasn't going to do any of that because I had nothing to do with it. I didn't know the young man, and I had no reason to run. It just only would have made matters worse. So I stayed there to do the right thing, which was to cooperate. So when the police officers got there, it was females and it was guys, and I just got a brand new car because, like I said, I had a very good job at the time. And so I just got a brand new car, and when they pulled up on me, instantly they grabbed me to handcuff me because I was in the car with them. So, again, I don't have anything to hide. So they grabbed me, they handcuffed me, they throw me in the back of the police car, and I am in so, I'm so distraught and in so much disbelief that I'm sick to the stomach. Now everything I've drank is coming up. I'm throwing up. It's just all bad. It's all bad in the back of the car, you know, the police car. And, you know, they trying to insinuate that I had something to do with it. Like the female cop was like, oh, yeah, you sick now, huh? You sick because, you know, you had something to do with that man's death. And at this point, I didn't really know that he was dead. You know, it wasn't really confirmed. So I was like, it's, you know, I was shocked. I'm like, oh my gosh, so it's confirmed. It's deceased. She was like, are you surprised? He got hit in the head and in the neck. And oh, she was just being like, you know what, an a-hole. So again, I'm sick. I'm throwing up and I'm just like, oh my God, I'm distraught. It's just all bad. So my girl, because she wasn't in the car with me, at this point, police officers pull up. And for some reason, some guys have more compassion than these women out here. So the guy officer, he was like, so he was just like, we just need to know who did this, you know, we just need to know how, you know, what happened. We know you got to know somebody that did it, blah blah. So when I told him that I did not know the guy and I just sat in his car because I was cold, oh my God, they went crazy. Like, you're not gonna tell me that you sit in a car with a total stranger, you 24 years old, and you sit in a car with a total stranger and you don't know him. I didn't even know his name. I could not give the police officer a name. That's on everything I love. I couldn't get a police officer a name. So now they really thinking I'm playing hardball and shit. So they done called the chief of the head homicide detective down. And he came down, you know, he was questioning. This is still on the scene. Now this man's still in his car, pronounced dead. I'm still in the backseat of a police officer's car. They called the head homicide detective. He gets there, and he's the only one with some compassion, some real compassion on some, you know, real, to be honest. So, you know, when he get there, he's like, listen, Miss Davis, I don't know if you understand the severity of the matter, but, you know, this young man is deceased, and this situation could cost you, you know, your livelihood. Like, if you know anything, we need to know, you know. You need to say something if you know. And I told him, like, I promise you, officer, I don't even know the man. I said, you know, my girl right here, you can ask her. We met her friend here. He was a friend of her friend's friend. And I was just there, you know, accompanying her. And he happened to be with her friend. And that was just that. And so he felt some type of compassion. He did. The head of homicide did. So when they had, he was like, well, this is protocol, man. We got to take you downtown. We have to. You were in the correct, you know, you were in the car with him. So can't let you go. Of course, you know that. So, like I said, my car was brand new. And I was like, oh my God, it's like 3 o'clock in the morning by now. Is there any way, like, I can't leave my car here on Finkel. Can you please? I know, cause you remember it. I was like, I can't leave my car here. It's brand new. So, the homicide detective, it was like 10 officers there. And he was like, you know what? Yeah, I don't see you as a threat. I'm going to let you drive it. He said, now what they'll do is just box you in and you can just drive your car, because I don't think you're going to flee, which I wasn't. Like I said, I wasn't. No. I was still in shock. So, the female officer was mad. It was another guy officer kind of mad, like, you know, because they really felt like this person just gonna wait till the last minute to get over. I can't stand drivers in Michigan. I swear I can't. Detroit, I really can't. Same person that wouldn't let somebody else over though. But anywho, so, you know, there was a couple of officers mad, like, you know, because they really felt like I done set this man up, or I knew more than what I was telling. So they boxed me in for real, y'all. I'm in the middle, right, and they got two blue and whites on the side of me on the freeway. 2 blue and whites on the side of me. The homicide detective, the head of homicide detective, in front of me, and 1 other homicide detective behind me, and then like 2 other blue and whites just in the other lanes, just riding. I'm like, really? Like, I'm one person, 24-year-old, probably 140 pounds, soaking wet female. Like, come on now, what am I gonna do? But anywho, so they box me in. We get down to 1300 Bobby in the police station, and this is where it gets real. Oh my God. Like, I just was in complete and utter shock. Hey, Paul, how are you? Guys, the stuff that they got. Now, they did bring my girl down to the police, to the police station with me because they wanted to question her as well, by that being her friend's friend. So I got the officers, they got me in the room, and they questioning me, y'all. They throwing questions at me like darts, like I was gonna slip up. But the truth won't allow you to slip up. You know, I can only tell you what God loves, and that's the truth. You know, I did not know the man. I did not see anyone because, like I said, I was looking out of my passenger window, and my whole peripheral, his whole peripheral was on me, and I didn't see anything out of his driver's side window, not nothing. I feel bad today. The only thing I saw was a cast of a hood running away. That's it. The cast of a shadow of a hood running away. That is it. That's all I saw. It's very unfortunate. It messed me up for years because I always felt like if I hadn't have been so vain, and yes, I can admit that, at 24 years old, had I not been so vain, that I could have at least got a sketch for the police officers. I let that bother me for years. But, you know, I got a praying mother, and she just, you know, she prayed me through it. You know, she let me know that I had nothing to do with that. That was God's timing. That was just a way for that man to go at that time, you know, at that moment. So it doesn't bother me as much now, but it definitely did then. So, fast forward to, yeah, they throwing questions at me like, you know, like darts, like I was gonna slip up and, you know, say the wrong thing. You know, they even came back and told me my exact job, my exact position at my job, how old my only child was at the moment. They knew I only had one child, and, you know, they knew some increment details about me, you know, and they came back with it trying to scare me because they really thought that you know, they were just doing their job. I realized that years later. But they was even telling me that my girl was in the next room, telling them that I did know the guy, and that I messed with a heavy a guy heavy in the streets, and that's who had something to do with it. And yeah, they just went there, guys. They just really, that incident and that night could have really changed my life. But okay, so anywho, so at this time, you know, they questioned it all night. I was there for like 16 hours. They questioned it. I hear my mother now because she up and she there by now. And I just want to see my baby. Oh, my goodness. Can y'all just point me to the room and tell me where she at? And I hear the officer telling her, listen, ma'am, this baby you speak of, she is in a very adult situation right now. And it just happens to deal with one of the worst crimes committed, murder. So, you know, what I will tell you is that she's safe in the back. You know, she's handcuffed, but she's safe. She's good, though, as far as breathing. So, just as well as I heard my mom looking for me, I hear on the outside of the doors like, y'all ain't got to tell us where that bitch live at. We'll find out. Yeah, y'all ain't got to tell us. It's cool, it's cool. We already know she had them set up. So now I know that these people think I had this man set up. So as I said yesterday in my video, I had a sew-in in my head, extensions. I had pulled like tracks out by my hand. You know, by the time, you know, the 16 hours was up, I had actually pulled tracks from my head. My hands were the color of, I had on some dark Levi's, I'll never forget, some dark Levi jean jacket set. My hands were the color or darker than the jeans. I had rubbed all the color on my hands. And yeah, I had tracks hanging from my head by the time I left the police station. So after they, you know, have done all of their investigation or whatever, it really was nothing that they could do because I really didn't know the guy, and I passed the lie detector test and, you know, all of that. So they let me go 16 hours later. So my sister, you know, you guys, how you visit a family before the funeral. So my sister she was visiting some people who had lost a brother, and that brother was at a bar, and he got shot in the neck and in the head. And this brother was with a female that they had to find because she set this brother up. So when they said the name of the bar, she was like, wait a minute, hold on now. That young lady that y'all speak of is my sister. And she did not know that guy from a can of paint. She did not know that guy from a can of paint. She did not know that guy from a can of paint. And she went into the whole spiel that I just told y'all about, how I met him at the bar. He bought drinks. I was cold at the end of the night because I got sickle cell. He allowed me to sit in his car, blah, blah, blah. She said the faces on all of those people was priceless because they had me tried, convicted, plotted on, and taken care of, if y'all know what I mean. Like, life could have been so different for me. Like, it just, I don't know. I just don't know. I really don't know where that could have went. I don't even really like to think about it because it was an unfortunate situation. And the biggest unfortunate part was that I really did not see anyone. I really didn't. I really didn't. And like I said, I let it bother me for years because I felt like I was so vain to this young man who was only nice to me all night. He bought me drinks all night. And then at the end of the night, let me sit in his car. And me being the vain person that I was back then, you know, I didn't even have the decency to give him a conversation, to look him in the face and have a conversation with him, and maybe even get a glimpse of the people who killed him or the person that killed him. I let that bother me for years, and like I said, I don't let it bother me as much. But the reason for the video, just like it was yesterday, was that people really can be in the wrong places at the wrong time. And like I said, you know, his friends and family had me tried, convicted, and plotted on and taken care of, if you know what I mean. And I honestly did not even know. I did not know this guy. Not at all. I didn't know him. So yeah, that was a really trying time in my life because, oh, and before I go, the police officers told my mom that when she was saying, like, where my baby at? I just need to see her face. I just need to see her face with my baby. The head homicide detective told her, ma'am, as I told you before, you know, your baby was in a very adult-like situation. And, you know, it involved a very, you know, bad crime, which was murder. And he said, what I didn't tell you in the beginning was that had your daughter been sitting back on that chair, on that passenger seat, that could have been telling you the same thing that I told his parents, which was, I'm sorry for your loss. It was nothing we can do, because 2 bullets that was in wherever he was shot, the head, the neck, 2 of his bullets perforated my headrest. So 2 bullets that was in his neck or wherever he got shot exited. So he had an entrance wound and an exit wound in the neck, and the ones in the neck perforated my headrest. So this story could have been very different, and I just thank God on a daily basis. That's why, you know, I know that I'm still here for a reason, and it's not just, you know, because of sickle cell. I have more than one testimony, and that is one. And I'm just thankful that I'm still here to tell the story. So, just like I knew it would, I am here at the doctor with my son. It took just as long as I knew it would to get the story out. And that was today's live. Today is day 18 of my 30-day Bold Lips for Sickle Cell movement. Today, this is some type of light baby doll pink. I don't know exactly the name, but oh, thank you, Paul. I figured that this is why, like I said, I'm thankful every day, because I know I feel like this is what I was put here for. So I appreciate that. Thank you. But I am here finally at the doctor's office, and guys, catch me on YouTube and Facebook. I've been doing some training on some very economical ways to promote do some Facebook advertising. So you can catch me on YouTube and Facebook, and yeah. So thanks for listening, guys. We're here, and I'll talk to you soon. My kids are saying, say bye, y'all. They're saying bye. Bye. We got to get that one back there taken care of. That's the one that's doing all the coughing. My poor baby back there, he just just got all type of ailments. Okay, y'all.